On January 20, 1906, SS Valencia set out to her long journey. A Spanish warship Reina Mercedes fired 2 warning shots near the Valencia. To communicate, the Queen fired rockets and the Valencia responded using a live wire. Another with 18 people was rescued with the city of Topeka. In 1933, lifeboat number 5, which had gone missing during the sinking, was found completely in good condition. The SS Valencia was built in 1882 by William Cramp and Son, a shipbuilding company based in Philadelphia, United States. It was originally designed as an iron-hulled passenger steamer for the Red Deal Line, a shipping company that operated between United States, New York, Venezuela. It was launched on March 11, 1882, with 252 in length with a 34-foot beam, which helped it to stay balanced while carrying passengers and cargo. She was initially rated at 1,200 tons, but later she upgraded to 1,598 tons. The SS Valencia had a sister ship called Caracas, which was built 1 year before Valencia. In May 1882, Valencia began its official service, providing a reliable steamship. It carried passengers, cargo, and mail. The schedule was SS Valencia was twice a month, meaning the journey to Venezuela and back to New York took about 26 days to complete. The SS Valencia was involved in a tense moment before the Spain-American War. In 1897, while sailing near Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, a Spanish warship Reina Mercedes fired 2 warning shots near the Valencia. One of the shots missed the back of the ship by 240 feet. The Spanish warship did this to pressure to Valencia into raising the American flag to confirm its identity. Once the Valencia raised the flag, the Spanish stopped their aggression. This happened during a time of increasing tensions between Spain and the US, which later led to the Spanish-American War. The Valencia's journey took a significant turn in 1898, where she sold to the Pacific Stream Whaling Company that involved in transporting goods, passengers, and whaling operations, particularly in Alaska and Pacific Northwest. During this Spanish-American War, the US Army chartered her as a troop ship for $650 per day, equivalent to $24,600 in 2024, to transport 606 troops and 29 officers to Philippines, including military unit 1st North Dakota Volunteer Infantry and California Heavy Artillery. 1st North Dakota Volunteer Infantry were a team of soldiers from North Dakota, whereas California Heavy Artillery were a unit specialized in large artillery weapons. By 1901, under the Pacific Coast Steamship Company, the SS Valencia had problem with visibility due to her 100-foot bow, making it hard to navigate in foggy conditions. She was slow, with an average speed of about 11 knots, about 20 km per hour. Also, she did not have a double bottom, which is a feature that had extra protection from leakage or damage. Her West Coast service was full of problems and incidents. In 1901, the ship's ticket manager was arrested for overcharging passengers and allowing too many people on board. This led to a $9,000 fine, which was equal to $340,000 in today's money. In 1902, the Valencias collided with another ship, steamer Georgia, in Elliott Bay, Seattle. The crash damaged a hull plate, but luckily it was above the waterline, so it did not cause serious flooding. In 1905, she accidentally hit Swallowed Land near St. Michael, Alaska. To free herself, she had to throw off 75 tons of cargo, and the tugboat Meteor helped pull her back into the deeper water. On January 20, 1906, SS Valencia set out to her long journey. She was supposed to travel from San Francisco to Seattle. Valencia was used as a replacement for another ship, SS City of Puebla on this trip. The City of Puebla usually travel on this route, but for some reason it was unavailable. So the Valencia took its place for this journey. On board were 108 passengers and 65 crew members, including 9 officers and 56 crewmen. Everything seemed normal as she departed at 1:20 am, but trouble lay ahead. By January 21, as the ship moved north, the weather turned bad near Cape Mandicono. The sky was covered in thick fog and it started raining. The wind picked up speed, blowing from the southeast at 25 to 35 miles per hour, making it hard to see and navigate properly. During that time, ships depended on the position of stars and the sun to determine their location. However, due to heavy fog, Captain Oscar Johnson could not see anything in the sky, so he had to estimate where they were by using a technique called dead reckoning, which involved calculating the ship's position based on speed, direction and time, hoping to see a floating lighthouse that would confirm they were on a right path. Unfortunately, the Valencia was being pushed off course without the crew realizing it. A strong wind from south and a 3-knot ocean current flowing north slowly moved the ship in the wrong direction, far from its planned route. Instead of reaching the Strait of the Jan de Fuga, the entrance to the water leading to Seattle, the Valencia missed the strait completely and unknowingly headed towards dangerous coastal near the Vancouver Island. Then at 11:50 p.m. on January 22, tragedy struck. Valencia crashed into Walla Reef, an underground rocky area near Cape Bailey, Vancouver Island. The ship was 11 miles off course, meaning it was far from where it was supposed to be. The impact ripped a hole in the ship's hull, allowing water to flow inside, especially in the middle part of the ship. Seeing the danger, the captain tried to move Valencia closer to land to make escaping easier. However, the ship ended up stuck in shallow water, about 100 yards away from a steep cliff, with powerful waves crashing against it, making rescue difficult. During the panic, crew members tried to use lifeboats, but 6 out of 7 were launched too early and against order. Tragedy followed. One lifeboat's lifting device broke, causing 21 people to drown. 2 other lifeboats flipped over, throwing 25 people in the rough sea, while another lifeboat disappeared completely. Only 12 men reached land, but 3 were swept away by wave, only leaving 9 survivors. These 9 survivors later became known as the Bunker Party, named after a survivor called Frank Bunker. They managed to climb up the steep cliff despite the dangerous conditions. As they moved in the land, they found a telegraph wire, which led them to linemen, where they were able to send a message for help. Meanwhile, on January 23 at 8 am, another lifeboat was launched with boatswain Timothy and Carthy and 5 members. They landed at Pasadena Bay and walked a long distance to Cape Bailey Light Station, where they reported the ship wreckage by 3 p.m., helping all out rescue the disaster. This event marked the beginning of rescue effort, but sadly, many people were still stranded on the sinking ship. After the report, rescue ships quickly set out to help. However, a major storm made the efforts difficult. Several ships tried to save passengers. The SS Queen, Salvador, and Caesar came from Victoria, and another ship, the city of Topeka, arrived from Seattle, bringing doctors, nurses, and supplies for survivors. The SS Queen was the closest, but because of the bad weather and lack of depth chart, it could not get closer than a mile to communicate. The Queen fired rockets, and the Valencia responded using a Lyle gun, a device that could shoot a rescue line. While direct help was impossible, 2 life rafts were launched from Valencia, one raft carrying 10 men, reaching the SS Queen safely. Another with 18 people was rescued with the city of Topeka. Meanwhile, 4 survivors drifting on a raft ended up in the Barclay Sound, where they were found by the First Nations people near Oakley Lake who helped them. On January 24, tragedy struck again. A massive wave hit the wreckage, sweeping around 40 people in the sea. Most of them were drowned or were stumbled against the rocky cliffs, unable to survive in the freezing waters. Soon after, the ship's large smokestack collapsed, and the Valencia completely sank beneath the waves. In total, 136 people died, including all 17 women and 11 children. Only 37 men survived, and 33 bodies were recovered from the crashed side. After the SS Valencia sank, the US government wanted to understand why the disaster happened and how to prevent similar accidents in the future. 2 investigations were launched, one by US Marine Inspection Service and another by Federal Commission set up by President Theodore Roosevelt. This investigation ran from January 27 to March 1, 1906, with the final report released on April 14, 1906. The investigators found 3 big reasons for the disaster. Navigational mistake by Captain Johnson. Because of fog and bad weather, the captain could not see the stars to track their location. He had to guess the position, and he was wrong, causing the ship to go off course and crashed into the reef. Severe weather conditions. The ship faced rain and strong winds, making it difficult to navigate safely. Lack of lifeboats training. The crew had never practiced lifeboat drills, so when the ship was sinking, passengers and crew panicked and lifeboats were launched too early and incorrectly, leading more deaths. Because of this tragedy, new safety improvements were made. In 1907, a new lighthouse was built at Pasadena Point to help ships avoid dangerous waters near Vancouver Island. In 1911, the West Coast Trial was completed as a rescue path for shipwreck survivors and rescuers. Emergency surfboats were placed at Tofino and Uckley so they could respond to future maritime accidents quickly. The wrecksite was later named Valencia's Bluffs, becoming a historical landmark. In 1933, lifeboat number 5, which had gone missing during the sinking, was found completely in good condition. Unlike the other lifeboats that had capsized or disappeared, this one survived the waves and remained in good conditions. Today it is displayed in Maritime Museum of British Columbia, serving as one of the few physical reminders of the shipwreck. Because so many ships have sunk in the water along Vancouver Island, the area became known as the Graveyard of the Pacific. The SS Valencia's tragedy is one of the worst disasters in the dangerous region, standing as proof of the sea's unpredictable and deadly power. Now if you like our videos, ensure to subscribe and like our channel so we can bring more interesting contents for you. Your support means a lot to us. Thank you.